Hello guys, good morning. I just want to share to you what is my power backup whenever we do have power outages here, and this is essential for work from home. So I hope this video will let you give you more options what type of power backups that you might need or you want to purchase. So I have been using this for almost 2 years now, and same equipment. Uh, very reliable during the time when we had a typhoon here, and for a month of power outage or no power, this actually was very helpful. So anyways, you basically need two things here. Although what I have I have four items, which I will let you know why. But just to have a power backup, you just need the two main things here, which is first the inverter. This is a pure sine inverter. There are two types of inverter, by the way, that you can find online when you go to Lazada or Shopee. So we have the modified sine, and this one that I have is a pure sine inverter. So what's the difference between the two? You can definitely Google search that, but I'll just let you know my what I know about this one. And please do keep in mind, I don't have electronics background or anything like that. This is just purely based on my research and my experience. So this one that I have, as I've said, it's a pure sine. It advertised as 1500 watts of output, meaning it can accommodate appliances, devices up to 1500 watts. Anything over than that, this will shut down. And the other type of inverter is a modified sine inverter. So the difference between the two that I know is that if it's a pure sine, again, like I've said, it's 1500 watts. It should come up to that output, and you can use devices up to the 1500 watts, right? Adding all the devices that you have. If this is a modified sine, if it says 1500 watts, usually, and again, there's a calculator, by the way, online. I just forgot the link where I found that, but you, if it's a 1500 watts, usually it's around 3/4 to one half of its output. So 1500, around 750 to 800 watts. So that's the maximum wattage that you can use or you can plug into to this inverter. Which there's a plug-in here. You can plug an extension. So just to let you know about that. That's why modified sine is much cheaper than the pure sine wave, due to that fact. So if you do buy a modified sine, make sure you check first how many devices that you have, like how many monitors, how many computers, desktop, laptop, and if you're also plugging a fan. And you can tell on those devices, just look at the label on those devices, you can see the output wattage, add all them up, and give it an allowance of 50 to 100 watts whenever that you do consider buying a modified or a pure sine inverter, right? So this is the first one, the main one that you need. The second one is, of course, the battery. The battery capacity will give you how many hours that you need. So for this one, I had Multilight Excel. This is a battery for SUVs and other big trucks. It will give me around 8 to 10 hours, depends on the devices that I'm plugging in. So that 8 to 10 hours basically translates to one electric fan, two monitors, two laptops, with all the plugins, with the keyboard, external keyboards, and all of that. And that should give me around 8 to 10 hours on a good charge on this battery, right? So if ever I'm gonna plug more devices to that, of course it will lessen the hours, right? If I remove one of the computers, of course it will give you around 11 to 12 hours. I actually tested this one running an electric fan, speed level 2, and it lasted more than 10 hours, right, when I was actually using this battery to drain. Because one of the maintenance that you need to do, at least every month, use the battery that you have. Don't drain it to the point that it's very low. The inverter has alarm actually set up on this one, so if the battery is too low, it will give you a beep to a very loud sound. So once you get to that point, unplug, let the battery rest, and then after that, around 30 minutes, then you can charge the battery. So I mentioned earlier, You just need the two, right? But I have two more devices or equipments that I have because you do need to charge the battery. The options that you have, you can bring the battery to a shop and have it charged, or connect it to your car to charge it. But for convenience sake, I bought a battery charger. Right, it's gonna cost you around 1,000 to 1.5. I believe this version I have is 1.5. Um, Take note also for your inverter. There's a specifications there, 12 volts or 24 volts. What I have is 12, and the battery that I have is 12. So they have to match, and the charger that you have should also match the voltage that you have for your setup. So mine is 12 volts and I have set it to 12. Don't ever press it to 24. I put it on minimum charge so that it will do slow charging to my battery. I know I've read it somewhere, but I'm not quite sure. But I prefer slow charging the battery than charging it very fast. I don't know why. I just felt that it might help my battery last long. So I kept it in slow charging, 12 volts, and it will usually charge around 8, 9, 10 hours. And I will just have to watch the gauge. Once it goes close to zero, that means I'm good. And that's how I do maintenance with my battery. These three equipments are very, very important. The fourth one is just for checking sake. This is a multimeter set to DCV, and you can check the current capacity of your battery. So this is helpful for me to check once in a while, other than plugging the inverter, because the inverter that I have also has a monitor to check how much is the charge, and I'm gonna show you right now. So I'm gonna plug the black clip to this console, or whatever you call it, and this one as well. Whoops. All right, so they are now both plugged in, and to turn my inverter on, and it should give you how much is the charge. So what I have is 11.7, so that's good enough. I don't need to charge my battery right now. Yes, it's a 12 volt battery. You might be asking why it's not going to show 12. No, of course, battery degrades over time, and this has been with me for 2 years. Before, it will set around 11.9 to 12. But right now, I'm happy if it's around 11.7, 11.8. And like I've said, I don't need to charge. And once I did charge this one to full capacity, let it rest, and did my test, it usually sets around 11.9, 11.8, right? So this one is good to go. I can just plug a device here or an extension and plug any devices that I have. And once you're done, turn it off. And of course, remove this one and let it rest for a moment, okay? Before you do anything or any testing or charging it. So overall, this is what I have: the inverter, the battery, the charger, and the extra add-on that you don't really need. But if you like looking at stuff, this is just very cheap, anyways. So total cost of this one, you might ask. When I bought this, like I guess 3 years ago already. I can't remember. This was around 3K, 3,000. It doesn't have solar, by the way, so you can buy those with solar so that you can also use it to, an extra power on it. But uh, the battery cost me around 9K plus, because this was the biggest one that I had, or that I saw at that time. I was actually planning to buy the smaller battery ones, but it was not available. But anyway, no regrets, because it does give me more hours in terms of backup, right? And then the chargers was around 1.5, and the multimeter was 100 pesos. So that's it. That is my setup, and hopefully this will help you decide what type of power backup you might need in order for you to work from home, right, with no real interruptions. So that's it. Have a good morning, and goodbye.